Hey buddy, Crow back again, and it's been a long time since I've done a video like this where I could just sit and talk in front of the camera. And mostly I want this video to be about the Intellivision Amico. There's going to be a presentation, I suppose, on August 4th on the Intellivision YouTube channel, and they put out 2 videos announcing this in the last week or so, and I want to talk about some of the, just the responses I've gotten to my last Amico video, which was way back in March. But first, I kind of wanted to talk about some, I guess there have been a lot of, lifestyle changes around here, which kind of affect the way I might do videos in the future. I'm not like feeling it, I suppose. I've been really busy with work, even though I've been working from home since March. But like that doesn't really stop the fact that just a lot of stuff happened at once. Yeah, we had a pet die like about a month ago, Salem. He was pretty old, but he died pretty suddenly, so that kind of, I don't know, that kind of hit a little bit hard because we just were not expecting that. But also, about 2 months ago, we picked up a puppy. So I'm sure I've inserted some footage, but here's some pictures or footage or whatever of Ryoko, our new Shiba Inu, because she's popped up in a couple other videos I've done before, and people have asked, what kind of dog is that? She's a Shiba Inu. I've never had a dog before. My wife really wanted a dog, but we both never have had dogs before. So I don't know if you've ever had a puppy before, but it just takes a lot of time and effort, and I'm starting to fit into that groove of having a puppy. She's growing up. She's actually lost a couple of her little baby puppy teeth, and starting to get her new ones. So she'll still be bitey for a while. Man, you should see what she's done to one of the legs in the chair in the living room. But for a puppy, as far as I know, that kind of behavior is to be expected, and when she gets older, she will grow out of it. So yeah, I've been working from home since March, and during our last staff meeting, they said that, hey, you may be working from home until next year, depending on how things go. We're not going directly by what they say, what the government says, especially in Illinois, which has been pretty strict compared to other states, but just by what the CDC says. So I mean, and everything's going pretty smoothly with everybody working from home, so they don't really see a reason to shove everybody back in the building so quickly. And you would think that I would have more time to do things, but I don't know, it's just a mental thing where I don't feel as rushed to do things anymore. In fact, I think I want to do more videos like this in the future, which is me talking in front of the camera. So let's get to the point of the video. The Intellivision Amico. I was thinking about making a video after the August 4th announcement, but I wanted to make a video beforehand because I want to talk a little bit more about the Amico, how I'm still interested in the Amico, even above the PS5 and the Xbox Series X at this point. And just kind of, I made the last Amico video I made was a look at the 23 games that were in the trailer they put out. And I just wanted to, talk about some of the comments I got on that video. People are still commenting on that video. But first, I want to talk about, just really quickly, the 2 announcement videos that they put up. There'll be links in the description. Really, they're under the guise of testing the Amico controller, but that's not really the point of the videos. The point of the videos was to have something entertaining and just to inform you about this this presentation video. And here, if you're not sold on it, here's a clip from the first video, and here's a clip from the second video.
Walking like a oh, jeez, what?
Now, they could have just put out something on Facebook or Twitter that said, hey, we're putting out a video on August 4th, but they went through and had a little bit of fun with it, and that's really what I liked about it. And finally, the main point of this video, other than the fact that I just felt like making a video, is I just kind of want to talk about some of the comments I've been seeing about the Amico, especially on the video where it was like a look at the 23 games that I put out. When did I put out that video? Oh, it was March. and I'm still getting comments on that video. Now, it seemed like people were falling into one of three groups on watching that video and commenting on it. One is people are like, oh yeah, I'm really interested in Amico. I know some people knew about it, some people didn't know about it, and that's how they found out about it. And it's like, this is really interesting. I may have to look into this further. And they had a very positive attitude towards it. The second group were people that were like, well, I understand where they're coming from with this, but I don't think this product is for me. And that's perfectly fine. And you know what? I'm not here to sell anybody on the Amico. I don't work for Intellivision. I don't work for Tommy Tallarico. I don't even know if the Amico is going to be successful, or if it's going to be something when I get it in my hands that I'm really going to enjoy. I'm just curious about it. I'm really curious about it. And the third group of people were people are like, we're saying pretty much like, this looks like crap. I don't understand this. Who would be interested in this in the year 2020? So let's just talk about some of the negatives that specifically. There were basically three categories of negatives. And the first I can totally agree with. The first negative about the Amico comment-wise is the price. I mean, I got the Founders Day edition, so I'm paying $300 for a Founders Day edition. If you look on GameStop's website, just the core basic system is $250. And I believe they were intending the system to cost under $200, which would have made it more easier pill to swallow, as it were. But at $250, I think that, yeah, some people are going to look at this and say, this is too much money, and I totally agree with that. Yeah, you are getting 6 games with the system, but you know, just looking at it at face value, to plunk down $250 on a system you really don't know that much about. Let's face it, I've never played it. A lot of people haven't played it. There have been some people out there that have played it, and maybe they could say, I've played it, it is worth this money. I don't know. I haven't played it. But still, I have the money. I can plunk it down. I'm saying I'm really interested in this. I'm willing to support this. Looks like you guys are having a lot of fun, and the games look like fun to me. But the comparison is, why would you spend $250 on this when you could get a Switch for $300 or a Switch Lite for $200? But I don't want to make excuses for this, but it's a totally different beast than the Switch, I think. Because really the Switch is, a lot of the games for the Switch are just single player affair. And again, Amico, I'm probably going to be playing it single player, but it's really meant for a family environment. That's why it's coming with 2 controllers. And I think the controllers themselves are a reason why that price is higher than it should be, because they're like, why does this cost so much? This has just got cell phone technology in it. I could just play these games on my cell phone, which is, maybe I'm jumping the gun a little bit. Why pay that much money for it? But I think it's just the technology and the controllers. The controllers probably are going to cost a fortune, and they didn't want to compromise on that. So, yeah, the price, yeah. But then you also got to look at after your initial investment as well. When you buy a Switch, you're going to have to buy games. And the games, if you're buying physically, full price games, you're looking at $60 a game. But again, those aren't the types of games that are going to be on the Amico. What you're going to see on the Amico are the cheaper side games, the games that are in like the eShop for the Switch. But the problem is with the eShop is that there's no quality control at all in the eShop, and I could also say that possibly with the PlayStation and the Xbox. You look at those digital stores, and you could browse in there forever, see a ton of games, and not know if any of them are actually any good or not. The hope is with the Amico that those games, which are not going to cost more than $10 from what we've been told, are going to be specially curated. And they're only going to put the quality games on the Amico, the games that they could see people having fun with. But it's just harder to find quality stuff on the eShop, is my point. Also, they they just put out dozens of games at one time on the eShop, whereas where we've been told with the Amico, it's only gonna be like one game a week or every couple weeks. I don't really know, but it's only gonna be it's gonna be easier. They want the games to stand out. They're not gonna shove a good game in with 20 other terrible games, throw them all up on the eShop at once, and then nobody's gonna be able to find anything. Plus, after that initial $250, $300 investment in the system, you're only guaranteed to pay what, $3 to $10 a week for every game if you want to buy every game, which I don't know if everybody wants every game. But it's the kind of thing where I'm tempted to, it's like, well, I could afford $10 a week. Would I buy every game? Even if I'm not interested in it? That's possible. I don't know. But yeah, the price of the system, the initial sticker shock, I think that might be a problem. Now, the next type of comment I've seen is, I don't think the Amico is going to be successful. Okay, what does that have to do with whether or not you're interested in the system or not? I don't look at the system and say, I don't look at something and say, I don't think this is going to be successful, so I'm not going to buy it. To me, the Amico looks really interesting. Hey, it may fail. I mean, that's a really good possibility. But I'm still going to invest in it because I'm still interested in it and the model and the games that are coming out for it. Also, what is the metric for success? I don't know. I mean, only the people at Intellivision would know. They know, I would imagine they would know how many systems they would hope to sell, how many copies of games they would hope to sell. I'm sure they've done their research, and if they didn't think this system was going to be successful in any way, according to their own metrics, I don't think they would proceed with even releasing or going as far as they've gone so far with this system. So they must think that they have a good shot of success, otherwise they wouldn't be putting this out on the market. This isn't like somebody making something really cheaply and crappily and saying, well, it didn't put much effort into this, I'm just going to throw this out on the market and hope somebody buys it, and if nobody does, oh well, whatever. No, they've put some investment in this. They must really think they have a chance of success here. And we haven't really seen everything up to this point yet, so I can't really say whether or not I think the system's going to be successful or not, but that does not stop me from supporting it. You also have to look at other systems out there that have been failures and people still like them. You got to look at things like the Atari Lynx. People really like the Lynx these days. The Sega Dreamcast could be considered a failure, and people still love that system to this day and still will play theirs. So, I mean, saying just success or failure really doesn't mean anything other than you saying that, oh, well, maybe if the system's a failure, it won't get much support, and I don't want to buy into something that doesn't have much support. And I can see that, yeah, but again, if everybody waits to see if this is successful, then it won't be. And then the last group of comments in that video, and this is the one I see the most of, is, hey, these games look crappy. They look like mobile games. And you know what? If the games don't look interesting to you, that's fine. I mean, if they're not your cup of tea, there's plenty of other games for you to play. And I think most of these comments are coming from people that are used to playing, the AAA PS4 games or the AAA Xbox games or things like Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. These are not games like that. These look to me like the games that I remember playing on the Atari 2600, on the Intellivision, and nowadays when those type of games seem to come out, they seem to be shot out onto the mobile platform, which is where I think these comments are coming from, where they're saying, hey, these look like mobile games. But those type of comments don't really make any sense. Have you, like, mobile phones these days are pretty powerful, and they can play a wide variety of games. You could even emulate, like, I think even up to PlayStation 2 and Dreamcast games on some higher end phones. So where is the crappy mobile game sentiment coming from? I don't quite get it. I understand if the games don't look good to you, because maybe you're a bit younger than I am and you never played those types of games initially, or you're just used to playing those games in a mobile format. And let's be fair, a lot of the games that are like that on the mobile format aren't that good. They're not. And on top of that, when you say mobile games, when I hear the term mobile games, I think of and they say, why would I pay for this when I could play these games for free on my mobile device, is the other side of the argument as well. But these games, they're not really free. You either have to sit there and watch ads every 30 seconds, and to me, that's really annoying. I really hate ads. That's why I stopped watching TV like 20 years ago. That's why I pay for YouTube Premium. So I can watch YouTube, not have to watch ads, and still support the people that I watch. And so they're still getting some sort of ad revenue, even though I don't see ads. But it's one of the major turnoffs for mobile games, for me, is ads. And then on top of that, you may have games that have ads and want you to pay. It's like, hey, if you don't want to watch ads, you have to pay this or this much. Well, that's not free anymore, is it? Or even worse, it's like, well, you can play, but you can't play. You have to pay these tokens if you don't want to wait to play the next round. If you don't want to wait to play the next one, it's like, well, you played your round, you could play the next one in an hour. But if you don't want to wait an hour, pay, you spend some of these gems we have in the game. Oh, you don't have any gems? Well, here's a sack of gems that you could spend $5 on. That's what I envision when I think of mobile games, not crappy, like, not crap. Think about it this way. It doesn't make any sense, because the games I've been playing, like Pinball Arcade, Zaccaria Pinball, and Pinball FX3, they're all on Android. Now with Pinball Arcade, you could watch ads, I think, to play, but then you could just flat out buy the tables as well. And I know you could do the same in Zaccaria Pinball. But when I think of mobile games, I'm thinking more like what Pinball FX3 did, where you can't even... Well, no, you can buy the tables, but they wind up costing more. With the way they have it set up, they wind up costing more on mobile if you just flat out want to pay for it and not actually earn the gems or whatever to pay for those tables. But you could, watch an ad to earn gems, or after you complete a challenge, you could watch an ad to get another random prize or whatever. There's always ads involved in these types of games, and it kind of drives me crazy. So yeah, if you're happy playing mobile games, fine. If you're even asking the question, why would I play this when I could play mobile games? Well, hell, the Amico's not for you. And the Amico's not for everybody. It really isn't. The main demographic, I think, that they're aiming for with the Amico are moms with families, not like people like me. I'm more of a secondary market because of my nostalgia for these types of games, I think. If you're the type of person that watched that PS5 announcement and thought it was amazing, which I did not, if you were looking forward to all those games that are coming out, which I am not, none of those games looked interesting to me, the Amico's not for you. If you watched the Xbox Series X presentation and all the games that are coming out, which I didn't even watch because I knew I was going to be interested in those games, and you think that Halo Infinity, next Halo, whatever, is going to be one of the most amazing games ever, this Amico is not going to be for you. So you got to understand that the system is not going to be for everybody, and just because it's not for a specific demographic, it's going to fail. it's just not the case, or that nobody should be interested in this because it's not a high-end modern system. So that's just the way I'm looking at it. I'm just looking at it from the fact of the matter that these games look fun. Simple pick-up-to-play games that look fun. I don't even care about the multiplayer aspect, which all the games would have. I'm just really looking forward to what this announcement's going to be on the 4th. And I will probably, definitely, 60% chance, make a video regarding whatever that announcement is after the announcement. So, I've been talking for like 36 minutes, as I usually do in these types of videos, and I need to edit this way down, because I know there's a lot of stuff I need to cut out. And, oh, and if you're interested in hearing more about Amico stuff, there is the Amico Society on Facebook you could check out. And also, just 2 YouTubers that talk about the Amico a lot. Open Every Box is a YouTube channel I would shout out with Pete, and he's very positive type of channel. Really, doesn't really say anything negative about anything, which could be a flaw in his channel. But I would still recommend Open Every Box, and the Atari Creep, who likes to talk about these types of things, and he's way more down to earth. If you're there's a lot of swearing and psychological nudity in his channel, so so if you're offended by those types of things, don't watch the Atari Creep. But other than that, I would say watch the Atari Creep. He's awesome, and talks a lot about Amico and other things as well. And he's usually the first to make a reaction video to these types of things too. So follow him. Links in the description below. Hopefully I can edit this video and get it up by the end of the day, maybe tomorrow, I don't know. See y'all next time. Rambling. Bye.